Well, here we are for the third episode of the Chill Experience.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, Jill.
What's up?
Equals chill. Love it. What's up? Well, we got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Came in on a Friday today to be able to share what's happening now that the holiday seasons
Are upon us.
and behind us. Thanksgiving was yesterday.
It was. How did you like Thanksgiving?
I thought it was really great. We did a lot of preparing, though, because we had about 15 or 18 people at the house.
Uh-huh.
And we had to worry about where to get the food from and what to do so that everyone would have enough to eat.
So you know what's interesting? I heard you say we did a lot of preparing.
Maybe I didn't do that much, but I did show up,
You showed up.
ready to eat.
You ate up.
I did eat.
But I'm going to say it really wasn't a we. And we did a different Thanksgiving this year. Did you like the different Thanksgiving vibe versus the traditional turkey, stuffing, side dishes? We did like an eclectic kind of food that everyone would like, from younger to older, which I liked.
Right. When we talk about older, it's the older who don't have teeth anymore, so they have to have soft foods. And then the younger who are just developing their teeth.
I
have to
actually
have
think
soft foods.
everybody in our group has teeth.
That's true. I was just kind of making a joke, though.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody has teeth, so everybody was able to chew. But what we did differently, which I thought was cool, we had Wednesday night pre-Thanksgiving.
Yes, we did.
So we had plenty of food. And then we went to the Botanic Garden to see the Lightscape. What did you think of Lightscape this year?
I've been going the last few years, and
Yeah.
I think lightscapes are nice.
Right.
I think that the weather was a little bit windy and cold versus just cold.
Not just the weather, but what did you think in general? It
I
was
thought-
not my favorite.
No.
It was not my favorite.
No.
Not that I'm discouraging people to go, because I love supporting the garden and I love going there. And I thought it was great after eating to go for a nice long walk with the entire family. Well, the family that was in town
Right.
and available. We didn't have any of our kids. How
Now,
crazy is that? Not a single one of our kids.
no, but when you have 6 kids and 3 of them are out of town, they have other places to go and they have other family. It's not just us.
And you know what's kind of nice about how we roll when it comes to holidays? I think neither of us are really like on the tradition stuff. Like, we have to have our kids there. So I think that gives them less stress and anxiety. And I'm fine with them doing what they want to do, quite honestly.
That
What do you
brings
think?
up a big topic. So when you have a second marriage
Right,
and you have 6 kids between us,
right.
one of the stressors during the holiday season, which starts at the end of November all the way through December, is where to go and what to do, because you could have 4, 5, or 6 sets of parents with second marriages and step families.
Right.
And with the infants in our family, where do you go and what do you do, and to minimize the stress on top
Great.
of a lot of other stress.
Because I think the holiday season in general is so stressful. So I was thinking the other night before Thanksgiving, why do we do holiday? Like, what about December is holiday, that we have to buy gifts, we have to give gifts, we have to have meals. You know, halfway through the year is actually June, and where we live, the weather's nicer.
Yeah.
I tend to think June is a good time of year. So why wouldn't we start a tradition of not, and why is it Black Friday? Someone looked it up. I said, look it up, because I don't remember Black Friday. First of all, I was always off. But then as years went by, everybody worked, including in my company. We had to work on Friday. It used to be a holiday, paid holiday. And now everybody works, and it's Black Friday, which to me doesn't really have a great connotation to it. Like, why is it Black Friday? Like, it's dark.
Instead of Sunlight Friday or Happy Friday
Or Lavender Friday.
or On Sale Friday.
Or like something just totally different. But now I'm thinking, why wouldn't we do something in June? Like, we could actually start our own tradition and call it, instead of Black Friday, we could call it something Tuesday, or, Monday's usually just a drag of a day.
Yeah, maybe.
Not really for me, since I'm retired, but maybe it's something Monday.
Well, do you do it at the end of June or the beginning of June? Because starting in July, you have the July 4th
Well, that's
week
my whole
that
thing.
everyone starts to
If you
celebrate
do
that?
holidays, so if you do holidays, January is New Year's Day. February, well, my birthday, but that's not a holiday. Valentine's
Okay,
Day.
it's a national holiday,
Okay,
your birthday,
March,
and I'm okay
I guess
with that.
St. Patrick's Day, right? If you start thinking about like
Right.
months that have holidays, what's really in June that's a holiday? It's the only one that really doesn't have like the big holidays. So what if we made, instead of December, we did June? Because, I'm like a half birthday person too. I
Okay.
like doing that for those that are born in winter. So you could like celebrate when the weather's nice. So what if you did June?
Okay, well, we'll
And,
just
and
add
again,
June.
why gifts? Why do you have to get gifts?
Well,
I
maybe
would
we
like
just...
somebody to explain, because I believe it's, the celebration Christmas. Jesus was born, right?
Yeah.
Not that we celebrate anything, but he was born, so therefore now we give gifts to people.
Well, he's born and you give gifts and people like him. It's good for the... It's good for
Economy.
the soul.
It's good for the economy.
And the other thing is,
But we give gifts all the time.
as I start to go through life and I'm getting older, you could look at my gray hairs, is I'm sharing with you more and more about gratitude and grateful and giving of ourselves and giving what we can.
Right.
Because the more we give, whether it's just advice or guidance or gifts or money or whatever it might be,
Right.
the better we are in supporting our nucleus, call it.
But I'm not saying it's not about like giving the gifts. It's the time of the year. Why does it have to be December? It's so stressful for everybody. And I think it's now running down to the end of the year. People don't really have a lot of money down at the end of the year. You're not really getting your bonuses until after. So everybody runs up the credit card. So I'm proposing that we do 6 months into the year.
Okay, so Jill is going to start doing 6 months in the year. And for those of you watching, maybe put in the comments as you push the subscribe button, whether or not you think Jill's idea is great or maybe not so great. I'm going to go with the fact that we could start celebrating in June for those people that want to participate in our celebration.
Mauve Monday. Or
Well, you pick,
something
you decide,
Tuesday.
and we're gonna just make that happen for you.
or something on a Saturday. Just a fun, like just do something fun that's different. I'm just, maybe
Why
because
does it have to be different?
you know why? Personally, December is, other than our granddaughter being born in December, which is the best part of December in my mind. I think people in December, if they have birthdays or anniversaries, right? Our niece is also born in December. I feel like they get ripped off. Their birthday gets muddled up with Christmas, I've heard people say. Oh, it's everybody thinks it's Christmas and they forget about my birthday, which is maybe like I felt the 6 month, right? So it's not conflicted with any kind of holiday. So that's why I'm thinking, like, do it later. So people don't have to share their event with the big major holiday.
So for those that want to do that, I'm going to suggest that you start thinking about June as the time to be able to give and do. I
Right.
know that Jill's finding this humorous, and as
and
I
again,
am.
I like to give gifts all the time, as you do.
Yes.
So I think maybe what's prompting this too is when Mother's Day rolls around, one of my kids, or maybe all of them at some point, have said, "Oh, but Mom, every day's Mother's Day." No.
No, but that's the one day that's picked.
Maybe that's how they really feel. I do feel that way.
Do you like the phone
most
call from
part.
the kids, or do you want email or text at this point as the
if
kids
they
get a little bit older?
If they text, I save those texts because I like looking back and reading them. But I enjoy the phone call too. I always want to hear their voice.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of the problem with the phone too. It's my other thing. Why are we always texting? Why can't we pick up the phone like we used to and talk?
Well, do you like the phone or do you like FaceTime better?
Oh, I love FaceTime. So if somebody says, what is your favorite invention of ever? Mine is FaceTime, because I like to see and talk to the person. It makes me feel like they're right here with me.
And texting would
nice.
be like lower on the totem pole.
I mean, texting is nice because it's sort of an instant response. And if somebody's doing something else, when you're on the phone and someone else calls it, oh, hold on, and you leave the person on hold, you forget they're there. It's sort of a pain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, texting is nice in that aspect, but FaceTime, it's like you're right there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And then, it's really funny, I see these little memes that come up. Do you remember back in the day when you couldn't make a phone call until after, I don't even know what time it was, in the evening, because it was too expensive to call long distance?
Oh, that goes back way too many years for me.
How crazy is that? Like, we can call anyone and anywhere now.
Anywhere in the world.
So, we have family that they still live in California.
Right.
And I remember we can't call until after, let's say it was 8 p.m. because it's too expensive to make a phone call. When I was going to school downstate Illinois and calling home, still in the state of Illinois, it was a toll call. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy to even think about. And
So, it's funny because let's think about this right now. So things used to be really expensive, and I think people forget today that there are certain things now that aren't expensive like they used to be. We can call anywhere, and our phone bill's still the same.
Correct.
Whereas it used to, you couldn't really call long distance.
No, you'd have to use a calling card or
no.
figure out when.
You pick up your phone, but it's a long distance phone bill.
That's right.
Now we don't really have the long distance
And they
phone
charge
bill.
you by the minute.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they
it
used to
could
have
be
the
really
rotary
expensive.
phone too, Jill.
I remember.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get the...
So going back to the original topic of the way that we did dinner last night, did you like it?
I did, because it was, just a smorgasbord of food. Everybody had something that they liked, because, let's face it, not everybody likes turkey.
That's
or
true.
stuffing.
Correct.
Or that green bean mess. Now, I do like green beans. But, younger people, not so much. Older people, maybe they don't like them either. So we had like the nice array of food, and everything was prepared really, really well. I was very pleased.
And then you finished last night, and what we decided was, as an example for our kids that go to other family members for the night of Thanksgiving or the night of Christmas or any of the holidays, that we just make up our own. So as an example, after Christmas, December 27th, we'll do a family dinner for those that can make it, because we find other days to do it.
Right.
And part of the reason why is because of the stress and the anxiety that others have when trying to see three,
so
four,
many
five
people the same night, and it's too much.
And I remember when I had that, when I was much younger, that you'd have to go from house to house, and it was too much.
Right. I never really had that, which was nice. But I don't want my kids to have that either.
Correct.
Plus, my kids actually have to fly in, and I wouldn't want to be flying on Thanksgiving.
So what do they do for Thanksgiving?
Well, let's see. It was dinner at home with rotisserie chicken, which I thought was cute and nice, and it looked like a nice meal, but you had to be up so early for work. 4:30 a.m.
That's the Black Friday.
Black Friday. And then family dinner for one and family dinner for the other. So it was nice.
Nice.
And I think family dinner for the other three.
Yeah, it was family dinner. So now we get to look forward to a little bit of the travel season.
Right.
And the airports and packing and doing. So one of the topics that I was thinking about that I think a lot of people have is travel anxiety. That I like to travel. I could be on a plane and go and travel and go anywhere and do pretty much anything.
And why do you think that is?
But there's half the people that want to be homebodies and don't want to leave or don't want to go.
Well, how easy is it for you to travel? Let's talk about that right now.
Well, let's just talk about how easy my life is having Jill in it. Just for anyone watching, I don't really have to do anything.
You're the meme. You're the meme that
I just show up.
That's right. Where are we going? Where's my seat? Because you packed nothing.
Right.
You really donate nothing with the tickets. I send it to you, put it in the wallet, or keep it in mine. And now this time, next time we fly, our license is in our phone. How crazy is that?
And for anyone watching, in your wallet, you can now add, for the state of Illinois, your driver's license into it.
There's a bunch of states that are doing it. Not all 50, but many states have already okayed that you put your driver's license in your phone. A little leery about the safety and security of that, but they're saying it's safe, but how many times have we heard it's safe and all of a sudden your stuff gets hacked?
I'm going along with the fact that it's safe and that we're going to try it until it's not.
It says the guy with bad passwords. So travel anxiety, you have none because you're the just come and show up.
I'm the come and show up.
Right.
And I really don't have a lot of travel anxiety, but I do also like to go to the same places that I've been, because I do like the comfort of the same hotels or the
Familiarity.
The familiarity of that.
Well, luckily, they've been nice places.
Yes.
But I would like to try a little, different sometimes. I don't like to do the same.
What's
over
an
and over.
example of that?
Well, we have our regular ski trip now that we're doing.
To a professional skier.
Okay, let's not push it. You're actually more like the professional skier on the Black Diamonds.
I've been skiing since I'm a child, so I could make my way down.
Yeah, but we
good
know
Black
that
Diamond.
skiing here in the Midwest is not even close to skiing.
But growing up with my
Colorado.
family, we used to go to Colorado.
Yes, you actually were
As a
there.
matter of fact, here's a story that I think you've heard, but I'm going to repeat it.
Okay.
That when I was in Steamboat with my family, the chairlift got stuck, and I had to get roped down. Now, I'm not sure how many of you ever got roped down from a chairlift, and me being afraid of heights, at least after that incident, I made it.
Well, I'm going to say that that best not ever happen on any future trips that we go on, because that would probably be the last time I go on a chairlift.
Yeah, that way it was definitely an experience. I was in my teens, and we got through it.
Yeah, it's like the Curb episode. Remember when he gets stuck
Yeah.
with the Orthodox Jew?
Yeah, and then had to
Remember?
jump off before sundown.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, I'm not jumping off. I want that lift to go one end to the other, gently skate
Definitely.
off and find me a blue.
Definitely stressful. So now the other thing that we're getting a lot of emails about nonprofits and charity and being able to give and donate.
Right.
So what are some of the things, as we kind of are philanthropy oriented and givers ourselves, what are some of the emails and some of the different things that you're looking at that you want to share?
Well, I think based on, let's see, we've done several auctions actually in the last few weeks. So we've met some really amazing people. Unfortunately, people they're suffering, right? They have different medical afflictions, health issues. So they've reached out, and I've reached out to them, and I have offered that they come on as a guest speaker to talk about their organization. Because, the things that we take for granted, and right, it was just Thanksgiving. So besides the meal, there is the what are we thankful for? And we got some really good news, family news, right? The day before. So feeling very thankful for health. But there are people that really struggle with health every single day, right? We did an auction for Foundation Fighting Blindness, for example. And there are young people, children, that have no sight. And as we sit here and look around at all the colors here in the office and the outdoors and the sunlight that's actually out right before the storm that's supposed to be coming, how grateful are we for our sight? So I'm thinking the people that have emailed, that I've talked to, if they want to come and speak about their organization, that would be fabulous. We also have our podcast out on, not so much a podcast, it was our visit to Keshet.
Right.
Helping children with disabilities, children who then grow into adults who don't have a place because our world doesn't, it's crazy that our world still doesn't have a place for people that need extra services. But Keshet has that, so maybe they come in and speak, the organization, or we did the brain cancer, which is, near to me since I had a relative that passed.
Right.
So,
And one
I'm
of
thinking those people coming in would be great to talk about.
I think it would be great. And then one of the great websites out there that I'm familiar with is globalgiving.com or globalgiving.org, which is a nonprofit that's kind of like the GoFundMe for major organizations, where your nonprofit could go on there and raise money, or there's people that go on there that let Global Giving decide where the money should go.
Right.
It's really just a fascinating site. They've raised over $1 billion with this model.
That's fabulous.
So
It really is.
yeah,
And we know these organizations, a lot of them, they really need the money, they need the donations. And some are on the cusp of cutting edge. I mean, it could be cures or things that are helping, relieve some of the pain, the suffering. So anything that we can do or to get the word out for organizations, I think that is something that we're definitely feeling that we want to do.
so given now that it's going to be December 1 in a few days, and we have the holidays coming up with the Christmas and the giving and the nature of that, even though you want to start celebrating some of it in June, which we will, because life for me is about celebration and gratitude, I think that now's the time to start looking at some organizations that people could give to towards the end of the year.
Right.
And I think some of you might have noticed that I'm wearing glasses. These are the new ones from that I just picked up. Whereas maybe you heard last week's episode, I was having trouble figuring out whether it was number 1 or number 2 when I was deciding what letters were on the wall. And I could share with you that I could see great, but I'm still getting used to and adjusting how they sit on my face.
They look very nice. I like them.
Thank
It was
you.
a great pick.
Thank you. And if you like them, please put in the comments as you push the subscribe button that you like them also.
What if they don't like them?
You can put that in the comments also. My feelings won't be hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe people should just be nice. If you don't like them, you don't even have to say.
Well,
Why do we have to be negative? You know, that's my other thing. I don't really like the negativity.
well, you
I
know,
mean, honesty, I get it.
yeah.
But why do people have to be negative?
I think the universe is wired that we start with negative, and that to be kind, you have to overcome the negativity. As an example, I'm an eternal optimist that everything works out the
True.
way it's supposed to,
Very
and that my glass isn't half full, my glass is full.
Right.
And even when bad things happen, I've learned to just accept that, and then to be able to reset
Right.
the next day and then go back to being positive. So if we're wired to start with negativity, I think some people just go through life with a negative edge. And if you think about what happened today, you did Pilates today, and a person walks in and there's etiquette to Pilates when you walk into a studio. As an example, you wear socks.
Right.
And this person didn't wear socks, and so for the next person who has to use the machine, it might not be as clean as it could have.
True.
Because a lot of people use these machines, as an example.
All right.
So there's people that they're just unaware of their surroundings maybe, or they just don't take the time
To be considerate.
to be considerate.
All right, so you believe that we're wired for negativity, that you feel that that is easier than being positive?
I think that's how we're wired. It's a universal wiring that we have as a country and as a world, that we start from a negative place and that we have to overcome it, or we have to learn how.
All right.
Now, I could share with you where I read that or where I learned that, but because I don't remember, I can't share that.
All right, so here's what I'm going to say to that. We became grandparents again this year, and for the first time, great aunt and great uncle.
Within 2 weeks of each other.
Within 2 weeks, the babies are born. Little boy, little girl. Beautiful. How often are those beautiful babies smiling?
Very often.
All the time.
All the time.
So that to me is not negativity. Their parents and their family, all of us, we love these babies. They feel the love. They're constantly smiling.
Sure.
Constantly. Because they're so loved. So I don't think either one of them is wired for negativity. Now that's our example, because these are 2 babies born into families of complete and utter love.
Yeah.
They're so wanted and so welcomed into our family. So maybe the negativity is for people that don't have that family love.
Well, let's just continue with the family love and the kindness and the happiness factor, and really trying to get out of your head the negativities that are showing up, so that you could have positive experiences and positive karma. One of my big beliefs is, karmic energy and positivity and exercise and getting your blood flowing and doing the things to be able to keep you in that positive spirit,
Right.
and the positive zone.
The endorphin, really, all that stuff.
So
positive.
let's just say that I was wired to be eternally optimistic and happy and go down that path. My goal then is also to help other people do that.
Right.
I've also had to learn that when I'm in a negative space or that things are not going well, I've had to learn how to adjust to be able to shift my energy quicker so that I could be in a good positive space, right?
Right.
So I'm a conscious, on purpose person who tries to believe that later today could be better than earlier if I'm in a negative spirit. There's things that happen. We have clients, we have relationships, we have
Personalities.
stuff.
Everybody is, right? We're all individuals and we all have
Yeah.
stuff. But something else I read, and part of my meditation this morning, was somebody else's stuff is not your stuff.
Right.
So if they want to lay stuff on you, how you choose to engage, which could be zero engagement, say,
So
just I acknowledge how you feel, but not internalize it or take it in, because let's face it, we've all had pasts, right? And I think a lot of people, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm going to say a lot of people that we've encountered ourselves haven't had the best childhood, have not had the best just years, right?
Right.
We have whatever it might be. So how is it that one member of a family and maybe another member are completely different? How are you such an optimist, but yet and not you specifically, although you are very optimistic and positive on everything. How is it that a sibling could be negative and holding on to that stuff from their past and not releasing or letting it go?
I'm not sure how that works. I mean, I could tell you that when you go through life, it's better to be an on-purpose, grateful person who has goals and optimism to reach the goals. And, we've talked about in my life that if you don't have goals, you're just a ship out in the ocean without a rudder, just going all over the place.
Right.
So I have a goals, purpose-filled, driven life.
Right.
Where I have to-dos and things that need to be done that I take the time to do.
Right.
I've realized through one of those personality exams is that I'm a quick start, so I'll just get in and start. But the reason I'll get in and start is because I'm very high in follow-through.
And you finish what you start.
Correct, and I don't procrastinate.
So you know what's so interesting about that? How were you labeled as a younger person, even up until the time you met me and then we were together? How have you been labeled as a what?
Special ed and slow learner.
ADD, ADHD.
Yeah.
And do you know one of the characteristics of that is not being able to finish what you start?
Well,
that's so not you.
But I think what we learned at the eye doctor is underneath these glasses, I have astigmatism, which she said causes drowsiness, sleepy, and it's really hard to read and finish books.
Right.
And when, many, many years ago in the early 70s, I had trouble reading and staying awake and comprehending because of that. It wasn't easy for me like it is for other people to just sit there and read and learn and do. So fast forward, when I had coaches, mentors, parents, and guides help me all the years through my schooling, I learned from them different wisdom that allowed me to overcome many, many, many adversities that I had. And I also realized as I graduated the different classes, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and then the business school at UIC, that there's nothing that we can't overcome if you put in the effort, if you have coaches, mentors, guides, if you have goals, to-do lists. I mean, even today I'm part of Strategic Coach, where I have 30 other people in the group who are between the ages of, call it 25 or 30 and 60, where the reason they're in there, even though they all make what I would consider a very fair sum of money, is because they all want to become better as human beings. And then they believe the money and the family and the work-life balance shows up.
Goes right up.
Right. But you don't get there, I don't think, going through life without other people. And what I like about the holidays is it brings other people into our sphere where we now have engagements around gratitude and gift giving. And gift giving, by the way, feels good for the gift giver.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the receiver. Yeah. And that's why I'm a fan of the holidays. I'm a fan of tradition. I'm a fan of bringing our families together and spending time getting to know each other and getting to know each other where we're at today and then building on it.
But a gift isn't always a thing.
Oh,
like
that's true.
A water bottle or a piece of candy or a pen. A gift can be sitting and listening to somebody who has a story to tell.
That's right.
Or something interesting about themselves. That's a gift, to be able to sit and listen and really listen with your eyes and your ears and pay attention.
I think you nailed it. So how many of us say, what do I have to give? This other person is a CEO or a president of a company that's making $1 million a year. What could I give that person?
That they don't already have.
And what have I shared with you often is that they may not have anyone that they could really talk to.
Exactly.
And if you could just be their friend for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour, and let them share some of their wisdom, that's a gift that you just gave this person, and it didn't involve any money.
And it's not always wisdom. It's sometimes people have stuff. I mean, we had that whole experience, right?
Yeah, you could share it.
I think we talked about it already, didn't we? With Jim?
Yeah.
I mean, just that whole experience, a man who seemingly has everything,
And then some.
right? But had so much stuff that he was holding on to with, family and that type of thing, and being able to sit and have people listen
Right.
without any type of judgment was something I think we gave him a real gift that day.
So I really enjoy this podcast with you, and I'm going to share with why. Is it allows us to dig deep in our souls to pull out what we really believe that not only benefits us when we share it, but helps us as human beings. So one of the things you said was people put stuff on you, whether it's negative energy or their negative stuff, or the fact that they're just not in a good place,
Right.
and it weighs them down, it weighs us down. I believe that when you could communicate and share and talk the way that you and I do pretty often, is that it really does release all that.
Right,
So we are able to go through life in a more positive way ourselves,
right.
because we're just free. We have no secrets. We have nothing to hide. We communicate our thoughts. We
Right.
laugh a lot.
Yep.
We engage. We do, and we plan,
Right.
because we know that experiences, whether it's even just going for walks, bike rides, whether it's skiing or traveling or sightseeing, that those experiences, looking forward to the experience, is just as good as, I think, being on the experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, again, people get hung up on making it, the perfect something, the perfect trip or the perfect this. There are going to be speed bumps along the way, potentially. But if we can push through them, and you know what, we're in each other's company. And if
Right.
it's happening once we're there, we're in the company of our kids and people
Right.
that we love being with. So we laugh through it. And really, I've learned a lot of that from you with, you never have to worry about anything. If we miss the plane, then we're getting on another plane.
That's usually how it
And
works.
if that hotel doesn't have a space, we're going to find another hotel.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not 100% sure about, because we did have like the ick hotel once.
Once.
That was like super ick.
But I like to
But
share
we were
with
like
you.
out of it.
Yeah,
right?
and I like to share with you, I'm flexible like Gumby. I might not be able to touch my toes, but I am nimble in that we could try new things.
Oh my God.
And
I'm
do
sorry.
new
I'm
things.
thinking about the ick hotel.
Well, the Icatel was like when you say get out of Dodge, I didn't know what that meant until I was in Dodge.
Right.
And
Well, that's not even the ick
it was
hotel.
so
I'm talking about
bad.
the one that was in Cancun.
Oh,
Remember when it was, we got a great hookup.
oh, we got a
wherever it was.
hookup.
Yeah.
And it was
It was gross.
It was F level gross, and some of the stuff at the hotel we can't even describe because it was pretty bad. But we did leave there and go to
That's
a
what I said.
5-star hotel.
You made it, you were like, we're out of here. I got it handled.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, all right, breathe through this. He's got it handled. We are not staying here.
So it's our goal to do this every week and to be able to put out
Right.
basically what's going on for us. We'll bring in some different charities.
Yes.
That could talk. We'll also maybe just talk about different charities and some of the giving that we're doing and some of the giving that we're participating in. And we're going to just continue to build on this. And we'll share maybe some of our travel experiences, some of our business ideas, some of the wisdom we have from really 30 plus years of working.
And not even necessarily like a charity, because so something I saw, a good friend of ours, David, who has, the orchestra band, love him. His dad turned 90 this year. And, my dad turned 90 this year too. And I really have a thing for how this world treats people at that age. And his dad did a fundraiser. You know how people do a fundraiser for their birthday?
Yeah.
So I did my couple minutes and I see his dad is raising money for St. Jude's.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I have to give.
Yeah.
So I did, because I want him to be, make his goal, which was not even a huge goal, but just doing something like that
Right.
at 90 years old.
Putting yourself
He
out
wants
there.
to support St. Jude's, which I think is just one of the most phenomenal
Yeah.
organizations out there. I was like, how nice that he did that. I thought it was so cute.
And one of the things that Jill talks about at every auction is even if you give $1,
Right.
$100, $1,000, $1,000,000, everything helps. But the key is that when you give,
Feels so good.
it feels good and right. So I'm going to encourage everyone to be a giver. I'm going to encourage everyone to be self-aware and to be nice to the people around you, even in chaotic situations. And we're going to get through it, and we're going to come back to you next week and share with you some more updated experiences and fun and
Although
stuff.
we don't really have a lot planned this week, which I'm fine with. I need a little chilling time.
Well, the chill experience is not just about being and doing, but it's and working out, something that I want to promote and think about as often as I can, because you don't get a body of an athlete without working out.
Right.
And I'm still working on getting there, by the way. But we're
Work
going
in
to just
progress, man. You're healthy.
It's the gap in the gain.
That's
I wake
right.
up every day and I do a little bit.
That's right. All good?
So on that note,
Chill out.
and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.